We have not walked into the hornet's nest. We have not had our big bet of the week, but we are walking into the late game window with a doozy. Rams 3-point favorites against the Cardinals. The early line, the look-ahead line on this, Cardinals -1. Now it's Rams -3 with money and bets coming in on the Rams. Is it,
It's the big bet of the week.
Because I felt like it was. I had a feeling.
You have to take this one. This is a little worrisome where, like, I got word on Friday or Saturday that Kyler's shoulder still wasn't right. Obviously, I'm going to have to keep on checking in on that because if he can't throw it downfield, this Cardinals offense is no good. They're just going to stack the line and keep everything in tight, just like New England did. Where New England wouldn't let them get outside. They wouldn't let them scramble. And the Rams are just one of these teams. They're hard to get a read on. Their defense can play so well some weeks. Other weeks they take off. Goff, he is so hot and cold, and he's been a turnover machine of late. So, like you just said, the public's coming all over the Rams, and people are going to leave the Cardinals dead for now. They've lost 2 in a row, both by 3. So, in my mind, we're getting +3, a home dog, divisional. Happy to take the Cardinals here in the big bet of the week.
Makes all the sense in the world. Everything that I talked about in the beginning, where like I look for short home dogs. I look for teams that have a lack of luster in terms of public perception, teams where the preponderance of the bets, meaning the public, is coming in on the favorite. Like the Cardinals are in the middle of that sweet spot right now. Big bet of the week, Arizona Cardinals. I want to put the bets in this week just for that one.
Just because of that one.
Yeah. I love it so much.
I love it.
The New York Giants are now 10-point underdogs on the road at Seattle. Like, look, Daniel Jones not playing. You can't bet on this game.
Yeah, I don't know what the read is. Like, this will be one of those. I'll just tease Seattle down. Like, rare game. I probably won't end up betting it straight. Have no faith in the Giants without Daniel Jones, even though he has been great. He still is better than Colt McCoy. Colt McCoy came in that game and was just anemic. That's why, like, people say NFL is fixed. That felt like such a fixed game where he comes in. I think they're up 6, so we're covering at this point. They go down, they kick that field goal, and I go, all right, this bet's dead. They're definitely going to go down the field now and score a touchdown.
100%.
BS, PI call in the end zone, and they cover that number. So, Giants, I'm with you. You can't really bet them, but I'm going to take the Seattle, and I'll just tease them down. So we'll stay away from this number.
There is something about Colt McCoy that I do love. Many, many years ago when I was at ESPN, the magazine, I was a senior editor, and I was given an assignment by our editor-in-chief to reimagine what the front of the book, that's what you called like the first 20 pages of the magazine, looked like, right? And so me and another editor went on this sort of complete and total boondoggle. Like this is what used to happen in the magazine world when there was real money in publishing. And we went in this boondoggle and just found like creative people or people we wanted to talk to and said, we're reimagining what the magazine looks like. Can we spend 20 minutes with you and get your take on how you consume media, what's interesting to use? We met with like improv comedy troupes, and we met with high scale advertising agencies. And we also went to Austin and sat with Colt McCoy and another player whose name I forgot. And Colt McCoy, like at the time, was the superstar, myth-making quarterback. And he was just a great guy. He was just lovely and gave us all this insight into how athletes think, because we were thinking, did we want to turn part of it over to athletes? And he was amazing. Ever since then, I've rooted for Colt McCoy. And I also feel like, just from a betting point of view, there are times when you get that veteran quarterback and in the second week, they've had a chance to prep and they are sort of the expectations are lower. So I might not hate betting on the Giants here, but it doesn't make me comfortable. But I don't hate it as much as you do.
Yeah, it's just too scary. And I'm with you. Whenever we say Colt McCoy, I just think of Texas. Like that was such a unique era where not that everyone's not locked into college football like you were used to, but like he was there for all 4 years after Vince Young, and he was still a great. I mean, he wasn't great like Vince Young was great, but he was a great quarterback in the sense that people remember his name, like you just said, and it's been over 10 years, and he's still in the league. So exactly, he's going to get the full week of reps. That's why I also don't trust this number. It's too scary to take at the 10.
All right, we still haven't walked into the hornet's nest. You haven't talked about your survivor, but meanwhile, we got the Eagles, who are just dreadful trash. There's no way the hornet's nest is going to be betting the Eagles at +9 against the Packers in Green Bay in a late afternoon game. There is no way. This team is just terrible. Like they are awful.
They're awful, but no, it's not a Hornets Nest game. That's coming up. Love it. Love the Eagles. Give it to me.
Oh my
Give
God,
it to me
you're
all
sick.
night.
You
I know.
are
I'm
disgusting.
sick, but it's just too big of a number. Green Bay is not a good defense. I know they have guys back in the secondary. Eagles are terrible. I'm shocked this many people are even betting on the Eagles. But yeah, it's a big number. Not going to make anyone pick the Eagles, though. That's why I'm not going to make any more unique bets because this is one of those I'm just going to take by myself and just cry in the corner. I have to take this number. It's too big. It should be 7. It's 9. Happy to take the 9.
This is disgusting. You are a disgusting human being. It's like, I cannot believe you would do this. After what you did to yourself last night, I saw you were on the Eagles money line and the Eagles to cover at 6. Like, you deserve any misery you get if you're going to.
Yeah. It's sickening, but yeah, it's
Yeah. Meanwhile,
and
by the
people are
way,
like people keep saying you're betting the Eagles just because you're a fan. I bet against the Eagles constantly. That's not it. We're just an awful team this year, so we're getting a lot of value on our lines. That's why I keep betting the Eagles.
let me remind people right now, this is why we're heading into a bye week. Right now, the teams that we like, Bears -3, Saints -3, Miami -11, Cards +3, Eagles +9.5, Colts -3. These teams all in various ways can make you sick.
That sounds like a fun weekend to me, Chad. I don't know what you're talking about. That's a fun weekend.
I might not even watch football this weekend. That's how disgusting it all looks. It might be the first weekend where I say to my wife, I don't have to work on Sunday. After we do Convince Me at 11 o'clock at Action Network HQ. Patriots visiting the Chargers. Boy, if the Chargers can't find ways to sneak a loss out of a win as far as the bettors are concerned, that was something this past weekend.
The worst display of coaching you will ever see. If you just watch the replay of the final minute, there's plenty of people that tweeted out the full video. Awful, awful, awful coaching. And this is easily our Hornets Nest game of the week.
Walking into the Hornets Nest.
New England Patriots, just alone on the coaching mismatch. This game should have been Patriots -3. I know Cam's not good, and he didn't play well at all. I saw a hilarious stat. It's the first time in like 30 years that in the same week, 2 quarterbacks threw for under 100 yards and won. It was Cam Newton and Taysom Hill. So back again, fading the Chargers. I get why people might be taking them here because they got a good quarterback who can throw the ball around, but you got to think Belichick scheming up against a rookie with just a great secondary that New England still has. It's the only good thing on their team is that secondary. Got to take New England here. I know the line's moved down. It's down to -1 at some books. Still like the value on New England, so I'm happy to take this one and put in our competition.
Oh my God. I can't. Like, I was sick enough watching the Pats and like just wanted to curse you so much that we were on the Pats against the Cardinals in that game. And in that, when he kicked that field goal, I don't know if I can go through it again. Cam Newton is really
bad. He's bad. I think he might be hurt. Like, who knows? His body's just breaking down. But this is more of a bet on Belichick than it is on Cam.
All right. Sunday night. Broncos Chiefs. Broncos are 14-point underdogs. I will never bet the Broncos in this spot. Give me the Chiefs minus 20.
Yeah, this is a pro game. Like,
Yeah.
I'll probably have to end up taking the Broncos, but I'm not going to do it just because it's Drew Lock. I'm done putting money on Drew Lock. We've said that. That's good for him against that Miami. That was amazing, but Chiefs. Minus 14. Maybe they'll let them backdoor him because we saw the Chiefs against Tampa Bay. They simply stopped trying. Like, they weren't going to run it up on them. They could do that here, but it's a divisional game. I like the Chiefs. And Patrick Mahomes, if you just go through his career, he's owned the Broncos, especially at covering big numbers. So I'm with you. We can take the Chiefs.
This next game is really interesting. It's the first Monday night game. There's two Monday nighters. Washington at Pittsburgh. Washington is a 10-point dog. This is a pros Joe's game right now. And before I even looked at the odds and percentages, and again, get everything I'm talking about, you can see what I'm seeing. Go to actionnetwork.com, download the Action Network app. Washington is a 10-point underdog. 60% of the bets coming in on Pittsburgh, 80% of the money coming in on Washington. I like Washington here. I think they might be the best defensive line the Steelers have faced. And that offensive line for the Steelers at times this year has struggled. And Ben has looked like he's in trouble a couple times. So I like Washington in this spot.
Me too. And pure value bet, I'll take Washington's money line here. The fact that Pittsburgh's playing an early divisional game against the Ravens. We don't even know how it's going to go. But we're going to assume it's going to be a battle, and they're just going to beat the crap out of each other. That's what these two teams do. So we know how hard it is going defeated in a season. This feels like such a letdown game in between spot where they won't get up for the game. How do you not take Washington here? We already hate ourselves for doing it because obviously Pittsburgh, unbelievable, and Washington's in the worst division of football. But like you just said, that's a big number for a team coming in on a short week. So happy to take Washington with that number.
Also, the market has not adjusted to Alex Smith, professional football quarterback.
Your guy.
PFQB. That's what I call him. He's just a professional. That's just what he is. He knows how to play quarterback in the National Football League. This is a bankroll game for me.
Oh, no. Is it really? Dude, it's Alex Smith. Please, Chad. Don't do it.
Give me Alex Smith plus 10. I don't mind it on the money line either.
It's good value.
It's totally good value. The Bills are 2.5-point favorites at the Niners on Monday night. I like the Niners here.
This feels like such a sharp game. I hate that they moved, like, everything that's going on in California. They're making these guys go play in Arizona now.
Yeah, I know. You're right.
Don't like that. They got their own lives going on. Now they can't be around their family. I'm not a fan of this whole situation with them. But how do we not fade the Bills after that win? Big win at home, now coming on the road. Usually a letdown spot. And I know it's scary that the 49ers just had that amazing win. But what we saw in that game was they just played good team defense. And what we know about the Bills is they can get sloppy with the ball. And Josh Allen can try to make plays sometimes that just aren't there. So in the game that should get schemed up that it's a good number with the 49ers, I think you can wait on this number and let the public keep coming in on the Bills. You might be able to get San Fran, or the 49ers, I should say, up to plus 3.5. So we can wait on that one. And hopefully by the time they lock the numbers in, this is up to 3.5.
Yeah, I agree with you. I feel like the Bills are a team that can beat teams that make mistakes. But the Niners are not a mistake-prone team. They're just not. Like, they're so well coached that, and the things they rely on are so steeped in the fundamentals. They're not gimmicky. It's amazingly impressive that this is a 5-6 team at this point in the season, given the injuries they've had.
With the Bills, they're going to be one of my favorite teams this year going to the playoffs. That on any given Sunday, if everything's clicking right, especially with their D-line, that they just need their defense to show up, because I really do think any given game, Josh Allen can have a special game. And they're one of these teams that when it's all put together right, they can make a run. People don't think they can match up against the Chiefs. On paper, they have certain weapons on defense that could shut down the Chiefs. But right now they're just not playing good. And their defense just had – like that was their best game of the year by far against the Chargers. And maybe I'm reading it wrong, and maybe they have gotten it right, and they're going to play the 49ers like really well. But to me, this just screams of a pro versus Joe's game, and the public will just love this Bills number, especially the fact that it's under 3 and they're going to come in on it. So I have to take the 49ers here.
Producer and Buffalo Bills fan and Western New York native Matt Mitchell has weighed in that the Buffalo Bills have not won on Monday Night Football since 1999.
Oh my God. That's insane.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I guess I just locked it in for us. Then I guess we got to put the 49ers in.
100%. All right. So right now, if we don't take a bye this week, these are the games that we like. And I think we have found a decent number of games that we can start to feel good about. We'll be choosing from Saints -3, Miami -11, Colts -3, Cards +3, Eagles +9.5, Pats -1, Washington +10, Niners +2.5. There are 3 games on this list that I 100% love. Cards, Washington, Niners.
I really like the Cards one. That's what's scaring me so much. It feels like such a glaring game that really stands out. I know it's our big bet of the week, or it just that is a funky line. So yeah, we can get into the Survivor here. This is another week, some big numbers and some teams that most people haven't used. So like I said, I'd been saving the Chiefs just like I was for us. Perfect week to use them here against Denver. If you already somehow used the Chiefs, I mean, it's one of these weeks where you got to get a little weird with it. Like Minnesota at home against the Jaguars. Of course, I want to tell people to take that, but as someone that got knocked out on Minnesota, it's scary. It is scary back in Kirk. So for I guess the second one I'd put in is Minnesota. And if you hadn't used them yet, it's not terrible Green Bay against the Eagles. Eagles are not a good team. They're a team that can cover maybe on these back doors, but they're not a team you can really trust to beat these teams outright. So I don't hate the Green Bay play either if you haven't used them yet. So my favorite one is the Chiefs. Second favorite's Minnesota. And then if you have to, Green Bay.
I hope you keep winning. I only want good things for you.
Yeah, it's not $1 million. I wouldn't get paid out like what we were on the pace for, but it'd still be a nice little payday if we can make this final, people.
Listen, we still got a shot to win $1 million in this contest.
We got a shot. There's this one guy who's just been money. Like, I've been tracking his picks. I saw him making a little run. He started the year terribly. Like, I think he started the year might have been 2-8, and every week he goes 4-1. Like, I've been betting his picks because this dude's been so good. He was sharp last week. He rode with us. He ended up taking Houston like we did. He ended up taking Washington like we did. He did the Saints. And then he took a really dumb pick and taking Cleveland. He took them. So he lost that one. And then obviously he covered on the Bucs. So this guy's pretty damn sharp. He's going to be tough to chase because the guy we talked about early in the season, he's fallen off completely. Like the guy I joked about every week was just fading the Cowboys and the Jets. Yeah, he's back down in the 20s now. So the dudes ahead of us, they're for real. It's going to be tough to catch them, but if we just keep stringing these weeks along here, I really do think we can get back in the top 10 and make some serious coin.